For most businesses, your website is your single most important marketing asset. And the difference between a website that performs in the top 10% and a mediocre website can be huge to the bottom line. In fact, so much so that I just bought a £6.5 million business because I know the growth that a new website and an Exposure Ninja digital marketing campaign is going to make to that company's growth. But more about that in future videos. In this video, I'm going to show you the signs that told me this business had a huge growth opportunity and the signs that your website might be costing your business or brand money right now. We're also going to share a bunch of examples from Exposure Ninja clients over the years. Now, I'm not always going to show you their websites because, truth be told, these clients pay us quite a lot of money to do this stuff for them, not show all their competitors exactly how they're doing it. But I'll give you the stats and some specific recommendations that you can apply today. Sign number one that you need a new website is that you're embarrassed to share it. One of our US mortgage clients came to us for help with increasing their lead volume. We looked at their website and we knew that it wasn't going to happen. And they knew this too. They were so embarrassed about this thing, and truth be told, with good reason. Yes, it looked outdated. Yes, it didn't really represent their brand particularly well. Yes, it didn't really resonate with their target customer. We could have spent years driving traffic to this thing, but really that would just be like pouring water into a leaky bucket. We needed to fix it. We needed to rebuild the website. So that's exactly what we did. From the start, we built in SEO, conversion rate optimization. We made sure that the content on the website resonated with the perfect customer, the most profitable customer for this business. This company gave us an ambitious target of generating 1,600 leads through their website in the first year. That would have been a stretch with their old website. But with their new website and the Exposure Ninja marketing campaign, we didn't hit 1,600 leads in 12 months. We hit over 3,000 leads in 5 months. We doubled the target in less than half the time. But the truth is, you need to be proud of your website if you're going to push it that hard. To be honest, if you're thinking that you might need a new website, you probably do. Okay, sign number two is that there is no specific next step, no clear call to action or CTA. You've heard us talk about CTAs a lot on the Exposure Ninja channel, and with good reason. One multi-location theatre school came to us asking for help driving leads to their business through various channels, including pay-per-click. The trouble was that their website wasn't set up well with clear CTAs, i.e. when visitors reached the site, they didn't really know what they were supposed to do next, and the contact us thing wasn't that compelling, it wasn't that attractive to people. So what we did instead is rework those pages to include really clear, specific and attractive CTAs. The result? A 76% increase in conversion rates. That means generating 76% more leads from the same traffic. Because now when visitors landed on this site, they saw something that they really wanted to do. They wanted to put their details in. Another client that needed help with CTAs was a high-end interiors business. They came to us looking to drive more leads, but their website was performing poorly, and one of the reasons was that they had very weak CTAs. This is actually fairly common in the high-end interior space, where it's just sort of contact us or inquire today. The trouble is that has very low appeal to all but the very most qualified leads. So it means that you end up leaving a lot of potential business on the table. So we refreshed their website to make sure that it appealed to more of their target customers. We also re-looked at their CTAs and improved them. This worked really well. Within a year, they were generating so many leads that they had to start referring leads out to other businesses in the space. And this was against the backdrop of really flat demand in their industry. If in doubt, check every single page of your website. Does it have a very clear next step that's going to be attractive to your potential customer? If it doesn't, you need to add it, because remember, the goal of your website isn't just to give people information, it's to actually motivate them to take the next step in your sales process, whether that's make a purchase through an e-commerce page or whether that's get in contact through some sort of CTA form. If you want to see a really great CTA in action, go to exposureninja.com/review. This is the world famous Exposure Ninja website review. So if you want help with your website, if you want to understand where its performance is lacking or get a third party's perspective on do you need to redesign your website, the Exposure Ninja website review is the perfect place to do this. If you fill in a short form, one of our expert team will take a look at your site and give you their honest feedback on whether it needs a redesign, a refresh, or whether it's good to go and you can just start driving more traffic to it. Go to exposureninja.com/review and fill in the short form today. Now, I have to let you know, not everybody is eligible for this, so you do need to apply for this free website review. But if you get it, it's fantastic. You normally get this through in about 2 to 3 working days. It's a video where we show you exactly what needs to change on your website to improve its performance. Well worth requesting at exposureninja.com/review. Sign number 3 that you might need a new website is if you don't have any way to track its performance. Most of the time you can get analytics built into your website, but sometimes the site platform or the architecture just doesn't allow effective tracking of performance, and this can be a real issue. Too many businesses are letting their websites run without fully holding them to account. Either they're not consistently tracking its performance, or in some cases they actually can't. If you can't track your website's performance, this really needs resolving, even if it means getting a new website. One of our clients, when they came to us, we noticed that the website was converting at around 1.4%, meaning for every 100,000 visitors the site was getting, they were getting about 1,400 leads. Now, after some optimization, some tweaks to the traffic generation, and some tweaks to the CTAs and the layout on the site, we were able to take that 1.4% conversion rate and get it to 7.6%. Now, that's a 5.4x increase in the number of leads from the same amount of traffic. But we wouldn't have been able to make those changes, those tweaks, those optimizations if we didn't have that conversion data in the first place. And of course, once you can see that your website or even a particular page is performing well, that gives you the confidence to then drive more traffic to it. Really, doing digital marketing on a website that you can't see the data for is a little bit like driving blindfolded. And if you were driving blindfolded, the absolute last thing that you'd be wanting to do would be to drive that accelerator pedal into the floor. Sign number 4 that you need a new website is that your site is built on some proprietary platform or a platform that you don't have access to. Over the last 12 years of Exposure Ninja, we've seen countless examples of businesses that have bought a website from a web development firm that builds it in their own fancy platform. And that sounds great when you're buying it, but once that firm goes bust or decides to stop servicing that platform, it absolutely sucks because you can't get your website back. One client of ours was actually leasing their website from their agency, and this seemed like a good value and sensible option at the time. Although when it turned out that that agency actually sucked, it was terrible. We had to rebuild the website from scratch because the agency wouldn't let go of it. This is just bizarre. Now, that might feel incredibly wasteful, but the reality is this business needed to get away from that agency so that they could actually grow. In fact, the company that I just bought has their website built on Wix, which is a pretty restrictive platform and doesn't allow you the full range of customization and really control that you really need. Worse, the agency that built the website actually technically owns the website, and they are terrible. So we're rebuilding the site from scratch. Now, we're doing that because it's a terrible website anyway, but if this was a really great website that they built, but they didn't fully own or they didn't have the proper control to it, it would be a total disaster. So make sure that you own your site, but also make sure that it's built on a popular platform. At Exposure Ninja, we typically build websites on platforms like WordPress and Shopify because they've got great support, they're constantly kept up to date, and it means that we can transfer them over to different hosting if the client wants. You should own your website. You should never let your agency or your website platform take your website hostage. Sign number 5 that you need a new website is actually kind of counterintuitive. It's what I call the pretty face site. In the very early days of Exposure Ninja, we worked with a lovely client that had just spent a small fortune on their website, and they were very, very proud of this. It was beautiful. It was built by this incredible creative agency, and this website was a work of art. As you scrolled down, things were spinning in the background. There were loads of great animations. It looked insane. But we took one look at it as marketers and said, you're going to have to rebuild this thing. The client was confused. How can you tell me that we're going to have to rebuild this thing? It's winning Webby Awards. Like, these creatives are salivating over it. People are sharing it because it's such an amazing website. The trouble is this website was just a pretty face. The information was really difficult to find. It didn't have any clear CTAs. So whilst it might have looked nice to creative folk, from a marketer's perspective, this thing was horrible. We gave it our best shot with the pretty website, but in the end we had to make them make some changes like adding traditional menus and adding CTAs in order to get the performance up so that the marketing actually produced an ROI. The lesson here is that your audience may love going to escape rooms in their spare time, but your website should never feel like one. Great web design is removing friction between the user and their goal, giving them the information that they need exactly when they need it and not forcing them to hunt. If you can do that, you're going to get the sort of conversion rates that we've spoken about in this video. So if any of these signs resonate with you, then good news, you have some low-hanging fruit in your digital marketing performance. If multiple signs resonate with you, even better news. That shows that there's a lot of growth to be had, and that's exactly what I saw with the business that I've just bought, which we'll talk about more in future videos. Their website was underperforming across all of these different areas, and that tells me that there's a huge amount of growth to be had in this business when we get that fixed up. So if you want some help with your website or your digital marketing, the team at Exposure Ninja can do this for you. Request the free website and marketing review from the team, but you do have to apply for this. Remember, not everybody is eligible. So go to exposureninja.com/review to request your free review today. Until next time, see you soon.